You may be Captain America, but you ain't Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy. And after months of waiting, after years of anticipation, and after all of my lead-up videos from Captain America the First Avenger all the way to Captain America Civil War, I proudly present my review of the latest Captain America film, Captain America: Brave New World. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. I'm super excited. And I promise you, this is the spoiler-free review. I will not divulge any major plot points about the film that have not already been shown in the trailers. You have my word. So, what is the plot of Captain America: Brave New World? Well, it follows Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, who is meeting with the new President of the United States, a one Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, that guy. Remember that guy? You know, the guy that's been hunting down the Incredible Hulk for all of his life and will do what it takes to either capture him or destroy him. You know, the guy that started the Sokovia Accords, the Sokovia Act, that single-handedly dismantled the Avengers organization and made them turn against each other. Yeah, that guy. You know, the guy that has a vendetta against most superheroes or superpowered individuals. That guy? Yeah. He's the new president of the United States. But don't worry. He swears to us that he's trying to turn a new leaf. He's not that same old Ross. He wants to be a new Ross. And he's making an honest attempt by meeting with the new Captain America to basically form a good relationship between the two of them. But after an assassination attempt on his life, it caused him to start spiraling back into his old ways. And now has led Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, down a path that makes him uncover a plot to cause an international incident by unleashing a fiery red monster. So, you all know, big Captain America fan. I was looking forward to this movie. It has been 9 years, or almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years in May, since the last time we have had a Captain America film proper in the theaters. Sure, he's been in a lot of Avengers films. Yes, there was a TV series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which ended up becoming Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So, he's been around, but we never had a proper Captain America film for quite some time. And being the diehard Captain America fan, was really looking forward to seeing this, and I was actually rooting for Sam Wilson as the new Captain America. I supported this move. I supported making him the new Captain America. I love Anthony Mackie. I've always liked him as an actor. So I was on board. But as many of you probably already knew from my little reaction video to the teaser trailer, I had my reservations. Because there were some things about the trailer and some things about what I read about the film where I went, that doesn't sit right by me. But I went into this film with an open mind. I wanted to give it a chance. Hell, again, big Captain America fan. I'm always going to root for the Star-Spangled Man with a plan. So, what did I think about the film? Well, let's start with some of the things I liked about the film. First things first, I do like Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, aka Captain America. I actually appreciate that they address some of the internal issues that he has about carrying on the legacy of Steve. He feels it. He feels the weight of that responsibility throughout the film. He has some self-doubts here and there. And I like that he does address it. And I like that despite that pressure, he still soldiers on, pun intended. He still soldiers on and carries on the responsibility of being Captain America. And honestly, while he is no Steve Rogers, he, without a doubt, was Captain America in this film. So I salute you, Anthony Mackie. I thought you did a stellar job carrying on the mantle. There was also some other good performances. I personally really liked Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Now, he didn't really have the ferocity that I was looking for in a Thaddeus. He came close, but I mean, the guy's damn near 80. Give him a break, right? If he even tries to be too angry, he's going to have an aneurysm. But I thought he did a stellar job at portraying the character of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. He was really good. There's some other good performance. The guy that plays Isaiah Bradley, by the way, I know him. I don't know the actor's name, but I've seen him in a lot of things. I think he was also in The Fall of the House of Usher. He played like the detective guy, the cop guy that was interviewing the patriarch. I remember him in that show. I don't remember the actor's name. But he did really good as Isaiah Bradley. And by the way, can I just go on a little side thing? I'm delighted and I truly appreciate that they mentioned Isaiah Bradley in this film. Those of you who don't know the deep Captain America lore, Isaiah Bradley plays a huge part in that lore. And the things that were done to him against his will, the parallels to the Tuskegee experiments with his character, phenomenal. And I'm glad that they mention him here. They don't touch on much of what he went through. They do say it like in a very blink it and you'll miss it moment, but I like that they did address Isaiah Bradley. He's always been a fascinating character to me. I wish we could have had more time with him in the film, but I'm glad that he was mentioned nonetheless. The opening fight scene of this film, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's a great introduction to the new Captain America. And man, this shield never fails to impress. I think that's really all that I liked about the film now that I think about it. And this hurts because when I was leaving the theater, I was a little bit more positive about the film. But as I was driving home and I was thinking about it a little more, the less and less and less I liked about the film. First off, my biggest issue with this film really comes down to the writing. I thought that the writing was very, very clunky. And it's no surprise that it comes off as clunky. There are 5 writers for this film. 5 people wrote the script of this film. No wonder why it feels like it's jumping all over the place. And it seems less focused than it needed to be. Not to mention, to add to the bad writing, the pacing of this film is so fast-paced. They don't really give many scenes enough time for you to, breathe it in. There are, 3 moments in the film where I felt like the pace slowed down so we can actually feel the moment, to feel the scene, and that was appreciated, but I feel like there were many moments throughout the film where they should have slowed things down so that we could really digest the moment. Another problem I had with the writing as well is that it's so straightforward. They were trying to emulate the spy espionage kind of aesthetic with Captain America, the Winter Soldier, but unlike that film, this film literally spells a lot of things out for you. It doesn't give the audience enough time to really, be invested in this mystery, to be invested in the plot, what's happening. Oh, who's pulling the strings here? They almost give it to you immediately, and I hated that. I wanted them to reveal it slowly. Just again, in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, when we found out who was pulling the strings, it was a genuine surprise. In Brave New World, when we find out who's pulling the strings, it was kind of obvious. You go well, they kind of showed the person, about 10 minutes into the movie. So, clearly, that guy has something to do with what's happening. It would have been better if you hid the secretive villain for a much later reveal. Not to, kind of hide them in the shadows and kind of suggest that they're the puppet master. I'd rather that our heroes find out who the puppet master is. They just, again, spelled it out too much. And I felt like this script was really watered down. I mean, after all, 5 writers. They didn't really treat the audience with respect, or at least let the audience, come to the conclusions for themselves. Or at least follow the path until the conclusion is presented. A lot of it just felt very spoon-fed information. I remember this one scene where Sam Wilson is talking to this one villain, and this villain just pours his heart out about all this stuff, and I'm like, that's it? You didn't do much to really earn that. He just basically gave it to you. What the fuck? That's weird. So yeah, I didn't like that scene. Oh man, the CGI in this film, dude. Look, there were moments where it was kind of good. I do like how the suit looks like, how they use the shield, but practically everything else looks kind of like, it's not that impressive, and sometimes it looked bad. Like, there's a scene at the end of the movie where Captain America's speaking to somebody, right? And I swear to God, the background is CGI. Blatantly CGI. Not like they were trying to hide the fact that it was CGI. It felt fake. It felt fake. And I don't know who's in charge of the lighting, but fire that guy. The lighting in this film is atrocious. Whenever a character is standing behind a set of lights, it's blown out. It's so damn bright, it's hard to see. It almost looks like a blur, like a mess. And I'm just like, who's in charge of the lighting here? This is awful stage lighting, awful lighting in general. What are you guys doing? Is this amateur hour? This is a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Do better. And the cinematography is flat and boring. I don't know who the director is. I've never heard their name before. But they brought nothing really to the table. Nothing. All they did was they just tried to be a carbon copy of past Captain America films. It was a facsimile of what a Captain America film should look like. Some characters are completely wasted in this film. Giancarlo Esposito is in this film. And it's almost like he wasn't really in this film. He has 3 scenes in this film. 3. That's it. He has 1 good fight scene, 2 scenes where basically he's just talking. And that's it. That's all we get from Giancarlo Esposito's character. You wasted Giancarlo Esposito, this phenomenal actor. He could have been more to the plot. It felt like the trailer was hyping him up, but basically they hyped him up just to punch him back down. He was wasted as a character. The new Falcon, man, you ever just see that person that's trying too hard to please people? You ever just see those types of people that have to constantly force some humor or force a joke or like, see, look at me, I'm quirky, I'm relatable, I'm funny, haha. That's what the new Falcon felt like to me. Like he was desperately trying to make the audience like him, root for him, embrace him as the new Falcon, but it's not organic. It's really, really forced. And I did not appreciate that. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this new Falcon. I'm sure if they gave us some more time with him to really get a sense of his character, because here's the thing, who is he? Who is he as a person? I don't know. The movie doesn't tell you. Say what you will, but when we were introduced to Sam Wilson, we got a sense of who he was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. We knew what kind of individual he was. We understood his character. They fleshed him out. Here, this guy is only in the movie to tell quips and jokes and to pal around with Sam Wilson from time to time. But you don't get a sense of what his character is. Who is he as a character? I don't know. The movie doesn't spend any time to really develop him. That's the problem. The antagonist, man, underwhelming. One, like, Giancarlo Esposito was set up to be an antagonist. I already explained how underwhelming he was. But who we find out is the main villain, not only did I call it, I completely called it, but they were underwhelming too. They nerfed that character, by the way. That character's way more powerful than what is shown in this movie. And I'm just like, what the hell? What a waste of that villain too. That villain can do so much more. You guys have no idea who you got in your hands, and you wasted them. You wasted them. Whatever. The fight scenes, like I said, the opening fight scene was great, but every other fight scene, again, this goes back to the direction, the cinematography, and just the way that they were trying to do the fight scenes. They're trying so desperately to replicate the old action from the previous Captain America films without understanding how they work. They just think that if we just try to emulate it, it's close enough. But an emulation is not the same as the genuine article. And it definitely shows. Because the action scenes, for the most part, are not enthralling. They're not fun. Some of them are quite boring, honestly. They were. There's one great fight scene at the beginning of the film. There's a decent fight scene near the middle. There was this fight scene in the ocean that I gotta be honest, couldn't give less of a shit about. I honestly couldn't. And then the last fight, the third act climactic battle. This is the battle we've been building up to for the entirety of this film. Building up to it. And it's a snooze. It really is. It's very lackluster. Were there some cool-ish things? Yeah, there's some cool-ish things, but cool-ish things don't make for a compelling fight scene. And the way it ends is the most ridiculous ending to a fight I have ever seen in a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. I mean, really ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, it's almost Disneyfied. Like, it felt like a Disneyfied ending to a fight scene. Like, Disney saw how the movie was going, and they're like, okay, wait a minute. We can't end the fight like that. Here's our notes. We want you to do the end of the fight like this. Because it is the most Disney thing I have ever seen in a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. I could not believe what I was watching. I honestly could not believe it. I was floored. I was flabbergasted. That's how you end this fight? Get the fuck out of here. Honestly. Get the fuck out of here. That's the way the fight ends. Wow. Okay. Lame. So, I mean, what is really there to say about Captain America Brave New World? Whereas once I was apathetic and saying, it's a decent movie, it's entertaining in some parts, and there are entertaining aspects to the film. But my goodness, upon really reflecting on it more, it's an extremely disappointing film. You had 9 years to come up with an awesome continuation to the Captain America story, and this is what you give us. A underwhelming, lackluster facsimile of what a Captain America film should be. You try to be a spy espionage story, but you don't give enough time to really add those spy elements, that sense of intrigue, that sense of mystery. You spell it out for the audience way too much that there is no allure. There is no mystery. We kind of know who's behind it all. And that's disappointing. You try to emulate the action, the intense, high-octane, hand-to-hand combat action from the previous films. But instead you come off way too comic booky, over the top, and honestly, a dull. This film, Captain America Brave New World, as much as it pains me to say it, guys, is the weakest Captain America film I have seen to date. It is an easily forgettable film. It really is. And you gotta understand how much that hurts to say. I'm telling you that a Captain America film is easily forgettable and not worth your time. And real quick, I have to get this off my chest before I end the video. And I will make a separate video to go in more detail about this. That'll be like my spoiler video, but can we please have a Captain America movie that is genuinely Captain America centric? Please, can we have a legitimate Captain America movie? The last 2 times we have seen a Captain America movie, they were not really Captain America's movies. They were other movies with a Captain America paint job. Civil War literally is Civil War with a Captain America paint job. It's not Captain America's story. It's actually an Avengers story painted to look like Captain America. And this film, it's not really a Captain America story. It's another superhero story with a Captain America paint job again. Twice you do this. So I don't know why Marvel thinks that Captain America as a character can't have a Captain America-centric story anymore. He has to have stories that are actually from other stories. I don't understand why they think that. I think that's bullshit. That's a cop-out. Captain America is a strong enough character. He's an interesting enough character. He's a dynamic enough character to be able to helm a Captain America-centric story. You can't fool a true Captain America fan. This isn't a Captain America movie. It's another superheroes movie that's been painted over with Captain America. Nice try. I'm actually kind of surprised I got this worked up about the film. I didn't expect to be this worked up. And I'm not even done. I still have more to say about the film. And I probably will make that video sometime later on. But those are my thoughts of Captain America Brave New World. I would love to know what you guys thought about the film if you have seen it yet. Did you like it? Did you find it entertaining? Did you think it was just overall a dull fest? And let me know, do you think Sam Wilson makes a good Captain America? That's a good question. Comment below, let me know. Anywho, I'm going to see if I can get this video up as soon as possible. I'm sorry it's long, but I had much to say. I will probably be going into more detail in a later video about some more certain issues that I have. But other than that, guys, if you'd like to see more videos of this channel, be part of the Black Critic crew, please hit that subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. I'm talking about in a second. The uber fan of the Star Spangled Man. Till then, peace, YouTube.